The internet has a habit of creating its own unique influencers and villains, often from the very same person. It provides a platform for people who preach self-improvement, only to then have those same exact people become shrouded in controversy. But in a sea of influencers, nobody has been surrounded by as much controversy as this 20-year-old man, who seemed to emerge directly from a niche internet subculture. His real name is Braden Peters, but he's better known by the name Clavicular, and he may just be one of the most insane influencers that we have seen in recent history. This is the story of how a personal quest for self-improvement spiraled into something much darker, and all the controversy that surrounds it. To fully understand the rise of Clavicular, you first have to understand the subculture that he came to represent, Looksmaxxing. The term originated in niche internet communities, specifically incel forums, in the 2010s. And the definition is simple: maximize one's physical attractiveness through any means necessary. On one level, some of its practices are aligned with general self-help, such as exercising and skincare. The only issue is, the community refers to this as soft-maxing. And beneath that surface level lies something way more extreme, known as hard-maxing. This is where the practice becomes insane. It's a world where a term like bone smashing, the act of repeatedly striking your facial bones to supposedly encourage more angular growth, is used unironically. It's a subculture that promotes everything from steroid use, limb lengthening surgery, to taking methamphetamine to get the hollow cheek look. It also has its own vocabulary, some of which you guys may already know. A Chad is someone they consider an alpha male and who they aspire to be, while a normie is just an average person who knows nothing. But at the end of the day, there's only one goal, and that is to mog others. And that basically means dominate someone just by having superior looks. It's a brutal competition where every single facial feature is dissected under a microscope. For example, having hunter eyes versus having prey eyes. In this worldview, which is often called blackpilling, a jawline isn't just a feature, it's a measure of a person's value. To people in this community, appearance is the only thing you need in life to succeed, while personality, kindness, and intelligence means absolutely nothing. This is the world that Clav would step into at 14 years old and attempt to conquer. Clavicular's online blueprint seemed very standard. He wasn't running people over in his car like he is today. Instead, he began posting on TikTok in October 2021, creating dancing videos and participating in viral trends. But behind the scenes, he was already deeply immersed into the world of Looksmaxxing on an anonymous forum by the name of Looksmaxx.org. It was here that he posted about his journey and how he began his first steroid cycle at just the age of 14 years old, because natty gains are slow and gay. It's also at this point that we start to see that Clav deals with a lot of insecurity and social anxiety, as he says the main reason he started doing all this was because he was surrounded by jack college kids and felt skinny and insecure. And honestly, that's fair, because a lot of people deal with insecurities these days. But why not put the work in and slowly get there rather than destroy your long-term health and hormones?
I mean, why work hard when you can just get it like that?
Yeah.
Why
Literally.
train for 5 or 10 years to get the physique what you want?
Literally.
When you can just abuse steroids and get it in 5 months?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Well, like, what?
You solved the puzzle.
You understand it. He understands it.
Why? And this may seem cliche,
Okay, let's hear it.
but it's all
Let's hear
about
this
the
go.
journey rather than the destination.
This guy.
Well, I guess that answers my question. In this same exact post, he talks about his second cycle, where he took SARMs, specifically Rad 140 and MK677, which are taken orally rather than being injected. The issue is though, orals are super toxic for your liver and destroy it over time. But Clav doesn't care. In fact, he praises it, documenting his transformation and posting a video on YouTube about it.
Hey, what's up? I wanted to talk about my first SARM cycle that I ran at 15 years old, which consisted of Rad 140 and MK677. Dosages I ran for these compounds were 20 milligrams per day of Rad 140 and 25 milligrams per day of MK677. Now, I'll throw up some pictures right here of my 12-week transformation.
By documenting his transformations, Clav aimed to position himself as living proof that the subculture's extreme practices were effective. His content became a catalog of his journey from a self-described normie to a Chad. He shared his intense workout routines, strict diets, steroid cycles, and bone smashing techniques for the world to see. Remember when I said he had social anxiety? He has an entire guide on how he avoids all interactions and says less than 50 words per day. But it didn't stop there. He was even commenting on posts about how to increase your girth size. For those of you who are interested in that, his first method is hand clamping, second method is cable clamping, and the third method is ring clamping. It was at this point that he was no longer Braden Peters and adopted the name Clavicular. That name, by the way, was just a reference to the clavicle bone because that's a key focus for achieving wide-shouldered physique. In his own words, he had ascended. The only issue is, the college he was attending at the time didn't want him to ascend. He got expelled from school after someone tipped him off to his drug use and they searched his dorm and found all the drugs that he was taking.
Yes, the title is true. I was kicked out of uni for essentially roid-maxing and, looksmaxxing. Unfortunately, someone decided to archive all of my posts and apparently find out where I went to university and send them all to the public safety at my university, detailing all my alleged activities, which prompted them, the university, to do a search of my room and uncover certain looksmaxxing peptides and, things like hormones and, TRT, whatnot.
In my honest opinion, that's super messed up for someone to do to him, but it's also the push that he needed to focus fully on content. But not long after he got expelled, he crashed his car while under the influence, and he didn't care about the fact that he could have taken an innocent life. The only thing that mattered to him was that his surgery was going to be delayed because now he had to pay $2 to $3 grand to fix his car. To most people, that would be a wake-up call, but not to Clav. With his well-documented transformation as his brand, Clav's growth online was explosive. His TikTok account became a central hub for the Looksmaxxing community, attracting young men who viewed him as a leader. His follower account grew to over 170,000 as he consistently uploaded content centered on radical self-improvement. His followers would hear a story about how he would inject a drug called lemon bottle into himself to dissolve fat. He even went as far as injecting it into his shaft to tighten the skin. I also want to note that he talks about having erectile dysfunction all the time and how he needs to take Cialis and Viagra every single day. And honestly, I'm starting to see why. Like, bro, you're injecting your shaft? What? But aside from all that, he would deliver harsh, brutally honest ratings of celebrities' faces, even famously giving Michael B. Jordan a 3.5 out of 10.
What would you rate Michael B. Jordan? Because a lot of girls I know, they really like Michael B. Jordan for whatever reason.
I can tell you the reason. It's the fact that he's rich and famous, right? In terms of facial aesthetics, he's far below average. I would say that he's about 4 out of 10, maybe 3.5.
The purpose of this was to show how impossibly high his standards were, and that became his trademark. He would dissect people's faces and tell them exactly what he thought was wrong with them.
So she got 3.5. Why and how can she improve?
Well, her mid face is way too long. Obviously, she's got the jowls coming in, horrible nasolabial folds, horrible total facial width to height ratio. Just really bad age indicators, but obviously at 30, that's not something really that's going to surprise me. Her upper maxilla is super recessed, horrible infraorbitals. That's why your under eyes are coming in like hell. Really recessed chin. All the facial convexities are wrong. Her radix is recessed. Moving on. Okay, well, how much time do we have on the podcast?
One of his most viral videos was when he applied Looksmaxxing to American politics. In a video that gained over 1 million views, he rated political candidates not based on their policies, but on their ability to mog. He began to monetize his growing fame by launching coaching courses, marketing himself as a guru who could teach others his secrets.
This is a premium one-on-one program. I'm going to personally work with you to design your complete transformation protocol.
He also made appearances on podcasts and collaborated with other influencers like Aiden Ross and Sneeko. But as his platform grew, the methods that he was advertising got more and more shocking. For an influencer who built his brand based on shock value, controversy was always part of the strategy. But in late 2025, Clav's behavior escalated from edgy commentary to dangerous real-world acts broadcasted live. The first major incident took place in November 2025 in what's now known as the girlfriend injection scandal. During one of his Kick live streams, Clav was seen with a 17-year-old girlfriend, and in a hard maxing demonstration, he proceeded to inject her cheeks with cosmetic peptides. The reason is that he told her that it would contour her jawline. Now, people saw a lot wrong with this, but the biggest thing was that he was performing an unlicensed cosmetic procedure on a minor. I genuinely don't even understand what he thought was gonna happen here. Like that's just, I don't know. The backlash was immediate, with many accusing him of exploiting a minor and promoting reckless behavior. But it didn't stop there. The people around him were saying that he was taking meth to hollow his cheeks.
I don't know if I'm being a snitch. I've never seen someone snort meth ever in real life. I literally witnessed Clav snort meth. Literally. Witnessed it.
And if you tried to tell him that he was being a complete idiot and that his body was slowly dying, this is what he would say.
The consequences of not looking good will always surpass the side effects or the risk profile of any of the shit that I am talking about. Always.
I genuinely feel bad for Clav because the amount of drugs that this guy has taken, there's just no way this guy is seeing 40 years old. And I really hope he gets help so he can actually see above the age of 40. The most recent controversy happened on Christmas Eve. A random man had been stalking Clav on multiple occasions, even going as far as trying to get people to fight Clav and telling him that he had a firearm. Clav never did anything about it, but once that man climbed onto the hood of his Cybertruck and started yelling, that all changed. Clav would press the pedal and run the man over, and after a passenger asked if the guy was dead, Clav's response was, hopefully.
Hold this guy over here.
Oh my fucking
Start driving with this guy. Drive.
Oh my fuck. Oh my god!
Is he dead?
I don't know.
Hopefully.
After the police showed up, he claimed it was self-defense and wasn't arrested or charged with anything. He would get banned on Kick, but that would later be lifted. The man that he struck survived and was transported to the hospital. Once this happened, it went viral everywhere. People were talking about it all over Twitter and everywhere on the internet, and they were trying to come to one conclusion. Was this self-defense, or was Clav in the wrong? If you ask me, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. In a more recent podcast, a female would ask him about the Cybertruck incident, and instead of offering a defense, he decided to attack her by saying, "You got two chins hanging off your fat face." The story of Clavicular is a case study on the dark side of self-improvement, and the biggest issue with him isn't that he's doing all these crazy things to himself, it's that he's actively telling others that if they want to succeed in life, they need to be doing it as well. Like I said at the start of the video, there are millions of men who struggle with insecurities, and the solutions that Clav is selling to these young men is something that is actively going to shorten their lifespan and destroy their health. Of course, at the end of the day, everyone is responsible for their own actions, but Clav trying to normalize this behavior is absolutely insane. I genuinely hope that Clav gets help because I do think he's really funny and his content is hilarious, but the stuff that he's doing to his body is going to kill him. With that being said, I would love to know what you guys think in the comments down below, so let me know. If you guys like this video, please give it a like, and if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. I'll see you boys in the next one.